Hello there. Welcome to another live stream. I hope you guys can hear me. Just setting up something here, but you know what? Let me just go into the. I got loud. It got loud really quickly there. Give me a second. Okay. Alrighty. There we go. Okay. We are in the stream. Hello, and welcome. Welcome to another stream. Just give me a second while I gotta change the title of the stream. I believe I've made a tiny bit of a mistake in terms of the way I've named it. So let me just readjust that right away. Okay. While I do that, I believe we've got Benny on call here. Benny, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Hear me,
Thank you for having me today.
Sure, mate. Thank you for joining us. If there's anybody in town, I'm not too sure if there is anybody in town. Oh, Anas says hello.
Anas just, yeah.
Hello there, Anas. How are you doing? Thank you. Welcome. Welcome. How are you doing? Good to see you. So yeah, there we go. We got a bit of rain going on. That is pretty cool. We got traffic injection running as it should. Yes, we do, sir. That is fantastic. In case you're wondering where we are, we're in Cardiff. I'm doing well, Anas. Thank you for tuning in. I'm doing well. Okay. So today we are in Cardiff, Wales, and as you can tell, it is pretty rainy. Now we're not flying real time at the moment. We're flying a couple of hours behind real time. So real time it's about 23 or something like that, but we're flying at around 17 hours. So just about 5 hours behind real time, but we are using real weather though. So it is definitely raining in Cardiff at the moment. So yeah, let's take a look at an old friend of mine. Now in 2020, I really enjoyed flying this aircraft, particularly in terrible weather. So today's weather isn't terrible per se, but you know, it's not the clearest, so it'll be pretty fun to fly nonetheless. The TBM 930, Daher 930. This is an aircraft that I used to fly for those hard approaches, particularly in my Courchevel video. I used this exact same aircraft. It's a really good aircraft. As you can see, we can look. This is one of the very few aircrafts that I've flown in 2024 where I can leave the door open without jumping inside. So it has separate controls for opening the door and jumping inside, which is marvelous. I really love that. It comes with its own stairs, as you can see. It's a really cool aircraft. I believe in 2024 it has a little more detail and stuff included than in 2020, which is always nice to see. Absolutely wonderfully modeled aircraft. Look at the level of detail on that. You can see the individual markings on the diodes for the light. So that's crazy. Okay, that is absolutely crazy. Look at the level of detail on this thing. It's incredible. So I really liked this aircraft from 2020, and in 2024, by first impressions, it looks absolutely gorgeous. It does look really nice. Very good.
What's that cool livery you have right now?
This is just a default livery. It's one of the default liveries included. I don't think I can find a lot of 2024 liveries. We're still having issues on that front with the simulator. So yeah, it is pretty much the default, one of the default liveries. I've flown using this even in 2020 actually. So yeah, pretty cool. Really nice. Anyway, that being said, so if you look at, I can't really, if I press this, there it is, see that? You can close up the door from outside just like that, and you can lock it. Look at that. How cool is that? How cool is that? And if you want to jump inside, I think you just need to do that. And you're inside. Now, if we go outside for a second, we can also close it without going inside as well if we just use this. Okay, so that is really, really cool. I love to see that. Anyway, let's just open it right now and jump inside, shall we? Okay, hello. Let's pop on inside there. Very nice. Welcome to this absolutely gorgeous aircraft that I really, really used to love. So let's see how much of it I remember. Look at this beautiful interior of this aircraft. Always absolutely gorgeous interior. Right, so if we scoot on over here, goodness me, that looks like a comfortable plane. That definitely looks like a comfortable plane to be in. Can the trays be moved? I believe they can. I just don't know how to do it. Pretty sure they can be stowed away somehow. Or they can't, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think... oh, the temperature controls are interactive. That is really, really cool. But I just don't know how to put the tray away for some reason. We'll ignore that. But apart from that, it's really cool, as you all can see. So yeah, really cool aircraft here. Anyway, without further delay, let's just jump in here and get ourselves ready to roll. Okay, what do you say, Benny? Any comments before we get ourselves started? Today we are flying from Cardiff, that is Echo Golf Foxtrot EGFF, to Land's End, which is actually in England. So we're flying from Wales to England, both still in the Great Britain though. Land's End being Echo Golf Hotel Charlie EGHC, as you can tell from the nav bar on top of the stream there. So before we close up, I'm gonna start the engines with our doors open here. Yeah. So that's going to be pretty fun. I don't know why we can't open this door, and I don't even know if it's open, something you can open in the real aircraft. But anyway, let's see how much of this I remember, and let's get started. Okay, sounds good to me. All right, what is this? What on earth is that? I have no idea what on earth these are. Anyway, oxygen and stuff. Okay, so put that up there. Let's battery up, panel lights on, nav lights on, ignition automatic, auxiliary fuel, auxiliary booster pump there, AP trims on. Okay, we can turn on all these lights, why not? And we can go ahead and start up the engine, shall we? So let's go and press the starter to on. Enter. There we go. Starting up there. Okay, let's do that. Switch it to high idle.
Pause system test.
There we go. Brilliant. That is so cool. I love. Look at that. Are you guys noticing how the water on the windscreen changes?
Yeah.
Isn't that
That's
really,
really
really cool? That is so cool. Okay, coming up here, we can put our generator on. Starter off. Yep. Ignition automatic. That on automatic. Battery generator. That is looking good. Anything else we need? Pulse lights on. Taxi lights on. Yeah, we're looking. Fuel selection to automatic here. That is looking good. Brilliant. Do we need oxygen supply? Wait, is the oxygen supply on? This is standby oxygen. This is the normal oxygen. I should leave this on for the time being. If we come down to this panel here, we need our pitot heats on. We need our pressurization on automatic, but for that, let's go ahead and close up our door here. There we go. Ladder folded in. Beautiful how this ladder folds in so neatly. And we've got our, that's to unlock it, and that is to lock it. Perfect. All good. Let's set our bleed to automatic right there, and just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we're good to go as soon as we drop our flaps. So let's drop our flaps here to take off. There we go. There we go. Brilliant. All that is done, and we're pretty much waiting here. Now, we could attempt to program our little thing here, if we can. Oh, I think we might have to use... which controls do we use for this? Good lord. None of the controls on... Oh, we gotta use this. My bad. Okay, so we gotta use these panels here. I believe there's... Fuel tank selector is in the right position. I'm not sure if it is. Let me just have a look. It's on the right tank at the moment. Okay, that's fine. It's on the right tank. We can also put it on the left tank. Did I just accidentally switch off the engines?
Possibly.
Yep, I did. My bad, guys. Let me just put the starter to on there. That should get it going. This thing a bit down there to low idle at the moment. Wait for our NG to rise a little bit, and then there we go. Obviously this is not the actual procedure for it, so don't quote me on that. Okay, starter is now off. Ignition. Okay, let's go through everything again, shall we? Okay, these lights are on for the time being. Strobe lights are off. That is looking alright. Starter is off. Ignition automatic. Auxiliary booster pump to automatic. That is on automatic, and that is on. Yep, there we go. All good and all back to normal. So there's the fuel selector. We should have probably checked the fuel selector before starting the engines, but not a big deal. They're already selected, so no issues. Anyway, let's go here, shall we? Let us go here. Look at that. We can have a split of those two, which I don't want. Maybe we could use it. Let's go to PFD, MFD. MFD flight plan. Origin today is EGFF. Enter. At destination. Destination is EJHC. Am I right in saying that? Saint Just, that is Lands and Airport. Perfect. Alrighty. Procedures, please. Departure. Today is going to be using... No, we're not using this departure. We want to use the departure with Exmoor in it. So, Exmoor. There we go. Runway 30 is our takeoff runway. Is that right? I think it is. I'll have a look at little nav map in a second. So, yeah, that is correct. Wait, hold on. Procedure, please. Departure. That is correct. Load that, please. Thank you very much. Brilliant. Next. Operating weight. Okay. Crew and stores. How much are we going with? Payload today. Passenger. I'm not gonna mess with any of this today. Okay. I'm just gonna let it be. I am just going to let it be. Fuel on board. What do we have in fuel on board? Wait, backspace a second. Cancel that. Fuel on board sink, please. 138 gallons only? That's not enough.
Isn't that enough?
I don't think so. Let me have a look. Aircraft. Come on. I've forgotten how this works now. Actually, 50% fuel is more than enough. So, yeah. There is enough fuel on board. Sink, please. 144 gallons. That is all good. landing, estimated landing weight and whatever payload. Passengers, we'll say 2. Right, enter. 190 pounds. Enter. Cargo, let's say we're carrying about 200 pounds. Enter. There we go. Take off. Crew plus stores. Okay, 100 pounds. Why not? I'm gonna go back on that. Payload is there. That is there. And estimated landing weight and stuff like that. Okay, whatever. Okay, if we go back to our flight plan, let's go to procedure. Let's go to our arrival. Yeah, that's right. Back. Why do we have no arrival options? Huh. Okay, let's go approach here.
It's only VFR.
No, because we need to first select the approach in there. So for approach today, we're going to be landing into runway 25 into Land's End. So we have the RNAV GPS one. That's the one we're going to use. Vectors or Dipto IAF. We're going to use vectors, I think. Okay. So that makes kind of sense. Minimums, we don't have any minimums information, so we're just going to load and activate all of that. Okay, so if we go to procedure, arrival procedure, unfortunately, as far as arrival is concerned, I don't think there's anything we can do here. So it's just going to be approach, and that's pretty much it. So let's activate all of that. Okay, so back. So what is going on here? But why can't we see the flight plan? I don't understand. Why can't I see the flight plan? Okay, it's here. Why can't I see it? I want to be able to see it. Je ne comprends pas. Preview. Show on map, of course. Show chart. Oh, there's no charts here. Okay. Fine. Why aren't we able to see it? That's what I don't understand. Okay, there we go. Departure. Okay. So next. Okay. So why can't we see the flight plan? I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on here.
Maybe you change the view and go back. The display.
I think. I have no idea what's going on. Okay, let me try and insert that one more time. XMO 1A, runway 30 load. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. I have no idea what. I think it's because I put my arrival a little too soon. That might be it. So let me go to my approach. Let me remove everything. Okay. Let me remove this as well. How do I remove this? Good lord. Load and activate. That doesn't do anything. Okay. You know what? Let me delete flight plan and restart this whole thing. Add origin EG. What is it called? FF. It's been a while since I flew this, and you can clearly see that. EGHC. Enter. Okay, so we're going to leave it like this with the procedure inputted here. XMO 1. That is correct. Let's load that, and that's perfect. So we're going to put in our... this I'm going to say is done. So, but I should be able to do this, right? Don't you think?
Yeah, technically, yeah.
So we've got select approach, select arrival runway is going to be runway 25. Okay, that's done. Okay, not an issue. That seems to work. If I say select arrival, we don't have any, that's fine. If we say select approach, okay, all of that seems to be fine. If I say load, okay, I don't see an issue. So maybe I just don't activate it. Okay, anyway, whatever it is, I'm not gonna bother too much about it. How do I control the pane? Home. How do I control the pane? Can't control the pane? PFD. Okay, whatever. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We got everything we need set up. We could go split screen here and see it a little bit clearer. I guess I'll do that. Okay, just like that, we are ready to fly. So, Benny, do you have any interesting facts for us about this beautiful airport that we're at, which is Cardiff? And right before we do go anywhere, let me go show you guys the flight plan for today, shall we? So before we head on this journey, we should select our altitude. We're gonna go for 5,000 feet today. Does that sound good? What interesting facts do you have lined up for about Cardiff and the Cardiff airport?
All right. So firstly,
Yes.
Cardiff Airport isn't actually in Cardiff. It's in a little village called Roos, I believe, which sits just outside of Cardiff.
Oh, and is this an international airport? I expect it to be.
Yes, it is.
Why doesn't this thing
And
have
its origins.
wipers? Sorry, I'm just
its
looking
origins. Yeah, go on.
I'm just looking for the wipers here. Good lord, don't see any Okay, whatever. No wipers, no wipers. Okay, great. Yes, continue, please. Thank you.
Yeah. So its origins were during the World War II, when the Air Ministry requisitioned land in Roos for military use. And the civilian use began in 1952, when it started with the Aer Lingus launching a Dublin to Cardiff service. And it was also initially known as the Glamorgan Roos Airport and Cardiff Wales Airport before being known as Cardiff Airport. So it had two name changes as well.
Okay.
And it's actually, the numbers have fluctuated in recent years, but it's been averaging 2 million passengers yearly since 2008.
Cool.
Yep.
We're just setting up the trims here. The elevator trim is supposed to be here. Now, I don't know if I should put my rudder trim to the green place where it says I should for takeoff. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to manually control it. What the hell? Alrighty. I don't think this thing has wipers. So let's have a look at our little nav map really quickly there. Here we are in Cardiff, or rather the village of Ure. Did you say Ure?
Roos.
Roos. Oh, I don't know where I got Ure from. Okay, so the village of Roos. Here we are at our little parking there, parking number 5. We're going to head on over to runway 30, take off and wind our way down. There you go, there's an intercept leg there, whatever. Wind our way down the English coast, sort of. And then we're going to head on down towards Land's End, which is pretty much the end of the land here in England. And we're going to land into an asphalt runway, runway 25. So yeah, it's going to be pretty fun. Both of these are handcrafted airports. So before we head on out of here, we should probably take a look at that, which we will. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that, shall we? Okay, the rain has cleared by the time. Look at that. We've got a bit of traffic injection. KLM Embraer, if I'm not completely mistaken. That is an Embraer for sure. Right? Doesn't tell me which aircraft it is, but yeah, it has to be an Embraer. Some City Hopper. Yep, it's definitely an Embraer. So yeah, we've got a KLM Embraer. I wish I had an Embraer. I would love to fly it. And then we've got our 737 trusty TUI This is Cardiff Airport, ladies and gentlemen. Visit Wales.com. It's not a bad looking airport at all. Looks quite beautiful, if I'm being honest. Look at how good that looks. That's really nice. The only complaint I have probably is that the interior is not modeled at all. But other than that, it's pretty good looking airport, huh? It's pretty cool. I like this airport. I should fly here sometime. This is a really good airport, and the runway markings and the taxiway markings aren't too terrible. Look at how good that looks. That is looking real nice. I must say that is a good looking scene, isn't it?
Yep. That is pretty beautiful.
It is. The vegetation looks great. Buildings look great. That is fantastic. Beautiful stuff. Anyway, this part of the world is pretty well done here in Microsoft Flight Sim. I believe that is a fire station on the other side and a bunch of hangars and things like that. But that is pretty cool. This is indeed a very, very beautiful default airport. That is a wonderful airport. What is that? This is really, really cool, man. I really like this airport. It's so good looking. Lovely stuff. Fire station there in the distance. I believe that is the village of Ruse, perhaps?
Yep.
And we've got, look at that, we've got an old rundown aircraft body there. It's wonderful. Wonderful. What on earth is that? Looks like...
Is that another aircraft body turned into, like, something?
It might as well be. It doesn't seem like it. It just looks like something built to look like an aircraft, sort of. But I don't know what on earth that is, but I wouldn't want to be stepping into that. Anyway. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Look at those winding staircases that lead up to the radar. That is really... that is just cool. So cool. That's really well done. I wish the radar was rotating, though. Had to make it a little bit more realistic there.
You can get everything in life, man.
You can't get everything in life. Oh, good lord. That sounds like the words of a defeated man right there. Look at the textures on that. That is really cool. That is really cool. Air patrol. Okay, whatever. We've left our engines running there. We should probably go back and see what's going on in there, huh? We should probably get back to our aircraft and get ourselves up on out of here. It's been 32 minutes on the ground. Yeah, we're just mucking about now. Just because of... Look at how good the runway is, though. Very nice. Anyway, time to get out. Time to get on out of here. Beautiful countryside. This place is actually really, really... You know how I always complain about how Europe is very monotonous and doesn't look great in, like, over certain places, but here it looks fantastic. It actually looks so good. This is crazy. Anyway, there's our lovely little aircraft. There you are. There you are. Let's jump on inside there. Brilliant. Okay, looking good. Looking good. So, Benny, tell me when you're ready. On the go, we shall go.
Let's proceed with the takeoff then.
Let's proceed with the takeoff indeed, my friend. Releasing parking brake. Giving it a bit of throttle there. Oh, fuel boost pump is on. Hold on a second. I want to turn that... Wait, it's on automatic, so what's the issue? Oh, my bad. Needed to switch that to taxi. I knew something wasn't right. Okay, parking brake released. Let's push that up there. And we'll probably chop that person. Oh, we just missed them. Did you see that? We just missed them. But there we go. Lovely. Look at how beautiful that is. This is looking good. For the first time, 2024 is actually looking really satisfactory to me, if I'm being honest. This is a good scene right here. I should fly out of Cardiff more. I love this airport for some reason. Very realistic. See, for those of you who think that the little details don't matter, they really do. Like it adds to the whole flight experience. It really does. So like tiny little details go a long way in making the place look really realistic, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, look at this. This is just absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful stuff, man. Love this. Brilliant. Brilliant. I'm enjoying myself right now. I'm enjoying myself. I feel like I'm there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really cool. And that's what flight simming should be all about. Let go of the controls there for a second and we drifted off. My apologies. My earphones were slipping out. Beautiful. This is a Cat 1 runway. And there we go. It can't be good forever. There's 2024 showing up. It's typical stuff. I haven't switched to the sim update 3, so hopefully when I do, a lot of these issues will go away. I'll try to get as much installed locally as possible, so I don't have to rely on this stupid streaming thing. Oh god, come on, pay more attention, god damn it. Okay, give me a second. Let me just stop here for a second here. Yeah, let's hold short of the runway here for a second. Parking brakes on. There we go. Terrible textures this side by 2024 as usual, but anyway. Let me head on back in here. Just checking the flight controls. Probably should have done that earlier, but we're good. Okay, brilliant. What view would we like right after takeoff? Right there. Perfect. Okay, lights, ladies and gentlemen. Let's turn the cabin lights off, access lights off. Dimmer is on, pulse, nav, and let's turn on the strobe lights. Taxi light to landing light. We are looking good. Okay, ready for takeoff. Benny, are you ready?
Yep.
Let's go.
I was born ready.
You're born ready, huh?
Yeah.
There we go. It's much better. Much better. Still a little bit of a drizzle going on, but nothing more than that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Ready to roll. Let's go. And they were right about the rudder trip. Good lord, I think we have a bit of wind. Yeah, we do have a lot of wind going on. Okay, let's lift off right there. Ooh. Gear up. Okay. Bit of a wobbly takeoff there. We do have crosswind at about 20 something knots at the moment, which is fairly high for this kind of aircraft anyway, right?
Yeah, probably.
As you can tell, we are crabbing along here. Beautiful. Yeah, 20 knots is quite high for our aircraft. FD is on, right? Come on, give us some flight directives for the love. Oh, they were on. My bad. Pulling up slightly. Flaps up, thank you. Good lord. This is a finicky controlling mechanism here. I'm on the controller. Sorry, my bad. I'm on the controller. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. We have control, more or less. That is good. That is looking good, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to give it to the autopilot for a second here. Nav mode on there. Heading, let's just align it just in case we need to take control there. Yaw damper is on. Everything else is looking good. Does this thing have VNAV on it? It does have VNAV on it. So VNAV says altitude for some reason. I don't understand why it would tell me that. But anyway. Does the VNAV actually work on this? Maybe it does. Let's find out. While we're waiting on that, let's have a look at a few views here. Absolutely gorgeous.
I do have a question.
Go ahead, Benny.
So the title of your stream, who are we revisiting exactly?
The old pal is the TBM 930.
Oh, okay.
That is it's one
I
of
thought
my.
that was actually a person.
No, it's not. Can you tell me if the stream is looking pretty good right now? When I switch between the views.
Just when you change, it's a bit stuttery, but I guess it's fine.
Yeah, that stutter is being caused by my encoder settings.
Oh,
And that is the biggest problem that I have right now. That is the biggest problem right. Okay, I have VNAV on here, but for some reason, the aircraft in its infinite wisdom has decided to hold on to the altitude, and that doesn't really make much sense to me. So I'm gonna have a look at what on earth this thing is doing. So yeah, that doesn't make much sense. So I'm just gonna go VS, VNAV off, VS please, and let's just go up here. There we go, brilliant. Perhaps not so steeply, but looking good. Yeah, so my encoder settings are... Yeah, I can see that there's stutters on the stream, you know?
yeah.
I need to change this. I don't know, I keep downgrading my settings and changing it a little bit, but nothing seems to do the trick, so I might need to revisit those settings again. I mean, after the last stream, I said the same thing. I went back and I revisited it, changed some things, but that doesn't seem to do the trick. I need to do a little bit more, huh?
Yeah, probably.
You've been telling me it's fine this whole time, and I could see the stutters, but the stutters are there.
They're not there when you're in the same view. When you change the views, that's when it happens.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
believe that's not a big deal.
It is a big deal.
But they haven't been happening across all of your streams or videos.
No, it doesn't happen on the video. It just happens on the streaming, because right now I'm doing a multi-stream. I'm on Twitch as well. So the double streaming is somehow overloading my encoders and stuff. So I need to take a look at it. I unfortunately need to take a look at it. So yeah. But yeah, we're doing well. We're doing well. Everything is looking good here. Let's take a look at the views there. Well, there isn't much to look at. Let's go outside and take a look. Hopefully we'll be able to see more from the exterior there. Good lord, look at this. It is a beautiful aircraft, and this thing, one of the things I love about it, it's so powerful. It has plenty of excess power. At the same time, it also slows down pretty well. So I really like this aircraft. It's I forgot just how much I like it, and I've not flown it in 2024 at all. This is my first time flying it in 2024. I don't know why, because I love absolutely everything about this aircraft, and in 2024 it's modeled even better. I forgot to show you guys the engine bay. I'll show you that once we land as well. So yeah, we're coming up on an altitude of 5,000 feet here. Looking good. Looking absolutely gorgeous. Looking absolutely gorgeous. Now, range. MFD range. Let's zoom out on the MFD completely there, so we can have a more holistic view of that. On the PFD, let us go down towards 2.5 is enough for that. 2.5 is enough for that. No, well, you know what? Let's do 5. No, 5 is too much. Let's do 2.5. Never mind. MFD. Should we do half? What's on this side? Oh yeah, now we can switch between the panes here. That's that pane. PFD, MFD. What should we show on this pane? Should we show map? No. TORS? No. Weather. Let's have a bit of weather.
Yeah, sure.
What did you say?
I said maybe engines if you want.
No, engines are here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everything required is shown up in this little panel here for this aircraft.
All right.
Perhaps traffic. Perhaps procedures. Perhaps... Oh, there's nothing. Okay, we could show up the aircraft systems. How about lighting configurations? Oh, that's not for showing up in the pane. That's just... Oh, look. In general. Look at that. Electrical power. Oh, look at that. Fuel. Look at that.
Oh, that's cool.
This is a really cool aircraft, isn't it? Landing field elevation 392 feet. Perfect. Weight and balance, all of that is there. This is all looking cool. Looking cool. Nearest airport. Okay, this is I like this entire navigation system as well. So cool. Charts. Airport diagram. Oh, look, we got charts. How about the arrival procedure into
Land's End.
Land's End, that's right. Unfortunately, we don't have any charts for that. Yeah. Well, okay. It's not too bad. It's not too bad at all. We can see the charts and stuff. That's pretty cool. But for now, I think I want to scan the... Wait, what? What on earth is going on here? Where are we right now? Whoa, flight plan. Where are we going? Where are we going? Have we begun to go down towards... Okay, what on earth is going? Activate vectors to final? I have no idea what's going on now. Good lord, I have no idea what's going on. Where are we? Oh, so the finals are here. So between those two, we don't have any en route waypoints. That is funny. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're still flying to... we're pretty much flying back towards where we should be. So let me go back to the flight plan here. Nidga, direct to Nidga, activate direct to Nidga. So there you go. Okay, that shouldn't be too much of an issue, right?
Yeah, I believe that's all right.
Yeah, that's all right. Brilliant. So we are currently flying directly towards our first waypoint. We should have done this. We should have put some en route waypoint or something that would have gotten rid of that issue, but not an issue. Not a problem at all. We don't really need this weather thing. I'm just going to go full here. Zoom out there just so we know how far along we are on this journey. Okay, looking good. Not too bad at all. Home. Brilliant. Okay, looking good. Looking good. Alrighty. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of a wobble there. But we're flying over the green countryside and the terrible textures in MSFS 2024 once again. Well, that level of satisfaction with 2024 was short-lived.
I think it's still better than most textures we find in 2024, honestly.
I'm not so sure. I think it's the same thing. I think
That's better to me, though.
Right. It's so blurry, though. 2020 wouldn't be giving you this. So I'm really hoping after Sim Update 3, once I locally install as much as I can, I won't be seeing such blurry nonsense. If we zoom in, it gets so much worse. Like this is worse than X-Plane 12. My X-Plane 12 looks better than this in terms of texture resolution. But once you're in the default view, it's less. But even then, it's still blurry. That's not cool, man. That is not cool. In 2020, it's so much better than this. But anyway, whatever. I'm not gonna. I complain a lot about 2024, so I'm just gonna be quiet on this flight as much as I can. Alt 3, Alt 2. I have nothing on Alt 2. Okay, Alt 4. A little bit of view there. All right, Benny. Why don't you tell me more about Land's End? Do you have something on Land's End for us to discuss?
I have a few TBM 930 facts.
Oh, sure. Let's hear them and then we'll go
Yeah.
on to discuss a little bit more about the Air India stuff, the crash that happened.
Sure.
And then, so go ahead.
So the TBM 930, it cruises over 330 knots, which is actually faster than a Citation Mustang jet.
Are
But
you sure it
only has a
cruises?
single propeller. Yep. It does.
Okay.
It also flies at around 31,000 feet, up to 31,000 feet.
Up to 31,000 feet.
Yes, which is the same as airliners like A320,
Well,
except
yeah, I
you're
mean,
in a six-seater luxury cabin.
yeah, the smaller aircrafts, I mean, this one is a very, very powerful turboprop, so I'm not surprised that
Yeah.
it can do such crazy numbers. It's a beautiful aircraft, this thing. I really, really like it. It would be, how much does this thing cost? Do you have any idea how much a TBM 930 would cost?
I can look that up. Give me a minute.
Sure. Perhaps one day if my channel kicks off, I can purchase one. What do you think?
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
All right. So a new one costs around $3.9 million,
Dear
and a
Lord.
used one, a used one costs around $3.7 million. So not much of a difference there.
Yeah, if you can
But
afford
like-
3.7 mil, you might as well put the extra 0.2 and get the brand new one.
Exactly. Yeah.
But absolutely, I do. Okay, so it's essentially near $4 million, right?
Yeah. Basically. Yeah.
I mean, considering the extremely luxury cabin, the amenities that are already on board, the fact that you don't even need an external ladder, I mean, not that that counts for much, but still. Given all of that and its extremely powerful engine, turboprop, I think 4
Yeah.
million is a decent price tag for this. It can cruise so high, and what is its range? Let's talk about range for a bit.
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay, this encoder thing is a problem. Either I need to stop streaming on Twitch entirely, or I need to figure this out. I'll continue tweaking the settings to make this work. I promise.
Its range is pretty decent. It's about 1,730
Yeah, that is
nautical miles.
nautical miles. That is not bad at all. That is not
Yeah.
too terrible. This is fantastic, man. This is a great aircraft. So here's
Yeah.
my thing. If it turns out that I become a millionaire and shit starts kicking off for me, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get myself a TBM 930. This is a fun
Yeah.
aircraft. It's a fun aircraft. So yeah, real fun aircraft to fly. The only problem with it is it's a single engine, so if one engine fails, good luck to you. You know?
All right, I do have an interesting fact, but it's not confirmed. So I don't know if you know the show The Blacklist.
Yes, I do. I used to watch it. Before you go any
Yeah.
further, 1 second. Let me just say thank you very much to Marco7611, who is a new subscriber. You didn't subscribe during the stream. He did not subscribe during the stream, but it's a new subscriber I got 1 day ago, I believe, off stream. So I just want to say thank you to Marco7611. Thank you very much for the sub. Really appreciate it, and yeah, thank you very much. So yeah, go ahead. Tell me.
Yeah, so Blacklist is definitely one of my favorite shows,
All right.
and it, you know, obviously Raymond Reddington.
Yes.
So his private plane was actually most speculated to be the TBM 930.
Oh, that's a clever choice.
Yep. Yep.
It's
It's also a favorite among private owners and executives.
It is. I'm not
Yeah.
surprised. It's a beautiful aircraft, this thing. I feel like, here's the thing. I feel like this is a perfect balance between having like a very generic aircraft, like probably like a Diamond DA-62, which can't really do too much for you, at the end between like a private jet, which oftentimes, even for the most wealthy people, are like a Gulfstream 650 or a 550 rather, isn't it like a little too much? Like, you know what I mean?
I get what you mean. Yeah.
Like, I get it. Even if you're supremely rich and you're a multi-billionaire and you've got business meetings on different continents on each day or whatever the hell it is. I mean, okay, if you've got meetings on different continents, yeah, you probably need a Gulfstream. But my point is, even then, a Gulfstream feels like a little bit of a stretch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
I mean, unless you're the busiest of the busiest people on the face of the planet and you're richest of the richest, I feel like settling with something like a TBM 930 makes more sense. That's my opinion.
Yeah, it definitely does.
How long does this thing actually take to fly 1,000 nautical miles? If we do the calculation, could you be kind enough to perform a little quick calc?
It would be about 3 hours and a few minutes, like 15-20 minutes.
Okay, 3 hours 20 minutes, maybe roughly. Let's just say that's a rough. So if you wanted to perform a journey of, let's say, 4,000 nautical miles, it will take you about 13 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
Given for the rest and whatever, let's add like a couple of hours in there. Let's make it like 16 hours to travel 4,000 nautical miles, is it?
Yeah.
Now, a 4,000 nautical mile journey, 16 hours, that doesn't sound too terrible.
It's actually better than a few planes as well.
Yeah, it's actually
like
better
airliners.
Exactly. That's better than some of the airliners, apart from the very largest ones, obviously, with massive range. So we're probably talking about 777 and A380 range. But apart from that, there you pretty much have it, and you're traveling in your own comfort, in your own little private terminal, most likely in most of the airports. Look at the bloody texture inside here on the leather. Good Lord, that is absolutely... That's crazy good.
Yeah, that is.
That is crazy. Look at the sunlight on the leather. That is crazy good texturing. My word. Brilliant. Anyway, I want to check if the textures are this good in 2020 as well inside the aircraft. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they are. Oh, we're going to a bit of a gloomy little place. Look at that. We are surrounded. We can see the ground, thank God, with our crappy textures. But all around us, completely and utterly gloom and doom. That is pretty cool. We don't even have rain at the moment. It's just gloom.
There are also a few jokes people make about the TBM.
What is that?
Like a few funny nicknames. So it's called an iPad with wings.
iPad with wings. Makes sense. Why? Look at it.
Yeah.
It's really straightforward too. So yeah, I mean, if you know how to drive, you could probably master. Apart from the part of the airmanship part of it, you could probably fly this thing. So yeah, it's
TBM. It's a French it's manufactured in France. It's a French company, obviously, but it's also joked to be an abbreviation for Très Bon Machine, which translates to very good machine.
Yes, Très Bon Machine. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense. That's cool, man. I wonder who actually makes the TBM. Before you answer, look at this. Can you see the amount of exhaust gases? They're so cool that you can see that. This is really cool. Anyway, I like the little panel here with all that information there as well. Could you tell us which aircraft manufacturer actually makes this bloody brilliant machine?
Okay, so TBM, it's made by Daher.
Yes, Daher TBM 930, yes. Now, who is Daher owned by?
Daher is its own company, I guess.
Oh, so it's not like a joint venture
It's an
between a
aircraft-
couple
no,
of manufacturers or
it's an
something.
aircraft manufacturer.
Brilliant.
Daher is an aircraft manufacturing company.
Do they have other aircrafts under their belt, or are they just riding on the success of this beautiful
No,
thing?
they only produce two main types of single engine turboprop aircrafts.
Okay.
One is the Kodiak and one is the TBM.
The Kodiak is made by Daher.
Yep.
I did not know that. There you go. You learn something new every day. The Kodiak. Which Kodiaks exactly? Can you mention the numbers just so it rings a bell?
All the Kodiaks are made by
Yeah,
Daher.
of course. But could you mention the numbers of the
What are the
variants, like the variants of the Kodiak, if there are any? I'm
Sure.
not too sure.
Let me see if there are.
Okay, this is gorgeous stuff. Let me just head on inside. Okay, we're about halfway through our journey here. Not too long left to go. We could load and activate our journey towards. Yeah, we could load our procedure here, right? Yeah, we could pretty much do that if we wanted to. Oh, yeah, we could.
Kodiak 900, the Kodiak 100, and yeah, those are the two famous ones, the 900 and the 100.
Okay. Looks
Have
pretty.
any idea? Ring any bells?
I mean, it doesn't exactly ring any bells per se, but you know. I do know. I do. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. It was actually introduced in 2021, the first one, which was the Kodiak 100. And the Kodiak 900 was released in 2022. So that's
Okay.
interesting. Pretty new.
Pretty new, very new actually. But the Kodiak is a
Yeah.
quite well-known aircraft as well on its own. What are the reviews for the Kodiak, I wonder? Before you tell me the reviews for the Kodiak, we are cruising quite well below what we could be doing here. So let me just push up the throttle. Look at this. We're basically on idle. Take a look at this for a second, Benny. Look at this.
Yeah.
Flaps are up. We're at 180 something knots, and we are basically idle here.
Yeah.
Let me just-
That's really impressive.
That is impressive. Let me crank up the throttle a little bit. Ooh, this is crazy. Crazy amount of power there available to us in this turboprop. 200 knots, just like that. Only thing I have to worry about in this one is not overspeeding, but there we go. We seem to be right there. That's not too bad. Propeller RPM is automatically managed by this aircraft. Yes. Tell me.
So quite a lot of people call it it's actually nicknamed by people as the ultimate bush plane.
Kodiak.
Yeah, Kodiak 100 is known as the ultimate bush plane.
If it's called the ultimate push plane, we need it.
Yeah, we definitely do. It is an STOL aircraft, which means short takeoff and landing,
Correct.
and it's known for its versatility, its ruggedness, and its STOL capabilities. Sorry.
Okay.
Obviously, it actually has the newer version of the Garmin glass cockpit compared to the TBM.
God dang. Maybe that's because of the later versions of it. Probably because it's so new.
Yeah,
That is so cool.
yeah, probably.
So we look at this. We have some interesting behavior here with the flight computer here. So if I say activate the procedure 2000 feet HC25F, it does this. Okay, it takes us through all the stuff. Now if I say go to NIDCA directly,
Yeah.
it takes me. Oh, now it's working. Never mind. My bad. Okay. It seems to be working now. But at the same time, if I say activate the procedure itself, it's going to take me through this line here. Okay, so that is something that I don't really understand why it does, but yeah, we're just gonna follow this for the time being. Yeah, let's just follow this for the time being. Got a bunch of stuff going on here. That's great. Great. Okay. Yes. Continue, please. Thank you.
Oh, that was pretty much it, I guess.
All right.
For the
Okay.
reviews. Yeah.
So tell me, have you heard of any new developments with the Air India crash thing? Because I've made a video on it. I don't know if you had a chance to check that out.
Yeah, I did go through it actually. It was really nicely made, honestly.
Oh, thank you very much.
The views you had behind it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I had good views on the thing. So yeah, I pretty much just stuck to what is known, tried not to add unnecessary speculation, and I just stuck to what the facts are as far as we know. The only one, okay, before I talk further about that, the only one complaint I have about this particular flight model is the fact that the wings don't flutter. See how the wings don't flutter?
Yeah.
So maybe that is something that they could work on, or maybe it's just the way how it remains in flight as well because of the airflow. I don't know about that. When we are on the ground, we'll have a look at the wings, and if it's like straight completely, then we know that it's actually modeled. It's just that's how it behaves in flight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Nonetheless, so yeah, as I was saying, I'm not entirely sure about if there have been any new developments since I made my last video on the Air India crash thing. Have you heard of anything?
So there was this development about 3 days ago. I believe you made your video yesterday.
Right.
I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. So, according to BBC, one of the officers, Indian officers in the aircraft investigation bureau, they said the one engine on the plane was new. I have no idea why that's relevant, but they just mentioned that one engine on the plane was new, and apparently that was an issue. The right engine was a new engine, and the left engine was serviced 2 years ago and had its next maintenance scheduled in December.
I understand, but
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, at least one of the engines should have been working.
Yeah.
One old engine and one new engine, one not recently serviced, one brand new. If anything, whatever the problem was, one engine should have worked. Now, so whatever happened caused both engines to quit. Because with one engine working,
Yeah.
that plane is not going to sink. It's going to climb out perfectly fine. It's not going to have the rat deployment. It's not going to have the gear continuously down. I mean, assuming the pilots commanded gear up, which is what I gather from watching the Captain Steve, or rather, more specifically, Gary B. pilot videos on YouTube. But in either case, if it was just one engine failing, the plane would not have crashed the way it did. It wouldn't have gone down the way it did. There would have been some yaw and roll movements. There were none of that stuff. That thing was almost perfectly level as it was going down. So I don't really see a single engine failure as being an option there. It must have been a dual engine failure. So whatever happened made both the new and the old engine quit at the same time. Now that leaves very few things. Bird strike was ruled out early on. The videos show no evidence of bird strike whatsoever. And fuel contamination is a theory that's still out there, and that could be a relevant theory too.
Yeah, that could be.
Could be a relevant theory, but apart from that, I have no idea what else could possibly cause. And it's not like it was a compressor stall or anything like that, because we saw none of that from the engine. We saw no resurging, we saw nothing coming out the back, no fires, nothing. So the chance of it being a compressor stall or any other engine malfunction that's outwardly visible, there was none of that. So whatever happened probably just choked out the engine, in a manner of speaking. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not exactly linked to the crash, but we don't really know anything yet anyway, so the DGCA, which is the Aviation Authority of India,
Right.
instructed Air India to remove 3 company executives because they were they were scheduling crew roles, pilot roles, over the breaches.
They were
basically
scheduling.
means they,
Sorry. Yeah, what were you saying? They were scheduling what exactly? I didn't hear you.
So pilots are allowed a flight time of maximum of 10 hours.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And they were scheduling it exceeding the limits.
I mean,
And there
something.
were serious violations.
Yeah, of course, there's serious violations. I mean, that is hardly surprising. I mean, Air India is not exactly. I mean, not just Air India. Many carriers. Unfortunate to say, but many carriers on that side of the world do not follow regulations, you know.
Yeah.
They really, really don't. My experience with Air India is limited, but I do have quite a bit of experience with some Indian carriers there, some local regional Indian carriers while I was traversing across the country, more or less. They're all pretty terrible, man. I'm just being quite frank with you. They're all pretty terrible. I mean, Air India flight, I've flown on a 787 before in Air India. And this was when I was flying to Dubai, and my God. It was
the same aircraft.
I have no idea if it was the same aircraft. I tried to go back and look for my itinerary. I can't find it, so maybe I'll go and do a deeper dig. But it was a 787, and it was a last-minute booking, which is why I had to go with Air India. I almost never fly Air India, but you know, I had to. And I was excited, to be honest with you. That would have been my first time flying on the 7878. And I got to be honest with you, I didn't notice anything wrong with the plane externally. And it's a beautiful plane. I was having fun with the window shades, you know what I mean? You know, so I was just playing with the window. And I noticed there was a cockroach on my by my foot, just racing across by the aisles underneath my feet, you know. So I'm like, I've never seen a cockroach at 30,000 feet in my life. That is the very first time I'm ever seeing a cockroach on an aircraft, on an airliner. And it kind of shook me for a second. I'm like, did I really see that? And then the guy, I think, made a return trip, and I was like, yep, it's a cockroach. Never mind. So I'm like, okay. So yeah, it's also the only aircraft where I've seen a fly trapped between the windows.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like alive?
Yes, alive. It was trapped between the window shade and the window, and when I opened the window, it flew out.
It's supposed to be window shade. Okay.
Yeah, like there was another Air India flight that I was on, probably I don't know which, but one with window covers, and there you go. While I pulled it up, it was pulled down, and when I pulled it up, a fly flew out of there. That is another first for me on an aircraft. I mean, it's very difficult to have such vermin. I don't know how they managed to do it, but you know. And you know, like a lot of people, they post videos, and I'm not just saying just after the crash. This is years and years prior. They're just resurfacing now because obviously Air India is now trending. But these are videos from years and years ago. There have been so many videos of people complaining about the state of the aircraft in Air India. Like, you know, the trays are busted, the seat is busted, the cushion is filthy, you can barely see the pattern on the... Like, so many of these videos are popping up now, and I can see that they're years old. And it's funny because I was like, that's so true, because I had a very similar experience the 2 times I flew on. And the fact is, to have such an experience on both an international and a domestic, I believe, flight with Air India, that kind of tells you something. I mean, what are the chances, just probability-wise? What are the odds?
Yeah, I get.
You know, they can't even make the argument, no, it's just some of our flights. No. I'm sorry, but the mathematics just don't... It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, it's not the best in terms of airline, but this particular crash, I don't think it was caused exactly by maintenance. If it is, then no one's surprised, but to be honest, I don't think it is. You know, I'm not just gonna get on the bandwagon of bashing the airline for no reason. I will bash it for a reason. I'm just saying. But that is Air India for you. But a lot of these carriers, regional and local carriers, especially on the Asian side of things, and I hate to say it, but it's what it is. A lot of carriers lack a lot of oversight. I mean, to be entirely fair with you, it's not like the American aviation industry was much better. A few decades ago, there were some terrible things going on. I mean, even when it comes to Boeing, it's such shady business going on with the FAA and, under the table deals and just gentlemen's agreements.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot going on. I guess it's the same pretty much anywhere. I mean, there's a lot of shortfalls in the aviation industry. So I don't think me saying just in Asia is exactly fair, but, we
got a couple of whack jobs in the crew and the passengers. We see a lot of videos across US. I'm sure
we
you've seen them.
Yeah, I've seen them too. So
it's very interesting because I personally have never experienced anything like that. But then we've experienced other types of stuff. So I guess every region has its own pros and cons when it comes to aviation, even.
Right, but I wouldn't exactly trust the carriers. The other issue is that India does have a very large population, so that allows for a boom in the local aviation markets. There's a lot of people traveling all the time in and out of the country, and so because of that, you have a lot of these carriers popping up. The regulatory authorities are unlikely to, keep a close eye on so many different carriers. So anyway, that could be one possible explanation for the shortfalls in safety, but nonetheless, it's no excuse. Anyway, let's we're coming up on top of descent right there, so let me select our altitude. If I select VNAV, will our aircraft start descending? No, it won't. VS. Okay, so let's do that. We are descending down to what altitude are we descending down to? Excuse me. Flight plan, we need to be at 3,000 feet, and not a problem. Let's go down to 3,000 feet, shall we? Looking good. Looking good. So I wonder what repercussions it's going to have on Air India. But it is a national carrier, so I believe it's going to be taken into account there. Okay, we've got a bunch of information available. We've got a bunch of information available now. That is great. 2 nautical miles, 2.7. Okay, looking good here. Descent is looking fine as well. We're going pretty quick here. Got a lot of vibrations in the airframe. A lot of vibration. Look at how much we're wobbling about here. Good lord, that is it's quite a beating. Oof. Goodness
Alright,
me.
so I have a few facts for EGHC, Lands End Airport.
Lands End Airport, yeah.
Alright, so do you know why it's known as Lands End Airport?
Of course, because it's the end of the land for England.
Exactly. So it's the last airport before the Atlantic, and it's quite literally the southwesternmost airport in mainland England. And it's basically where Britain ends and the ocean begins. That's why it's known as Land's End.
Land's End, yeah. As we can tell from this navigation display here, it's pretty much the end of the land. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's look out our window. Sorry, go ahead. We're just taking a quick look at the views here.
Yep.
Go ahead. Ooh, look at the freaking clouds. Once again, sorry, go ahead.
No. It also has the shortest commercial flight in the UK, which is from Land's End to St. Mary's. You want to guess how short it is? How many minutes?
I would say 20 minutes.
Nope. It's 15.
Oh, close. Okay.
Just 15 minutes.
15 minutes. We should definitely perform that flight. If you could take a note of that, I would like to perform it.
Sure, it's Land's End to St. Mary's. It's also known as the gateway to the Isles of Scilly.
Okay, I need to take manual control here. Hold on a second. I'm so sorry to interject here, but we need to slow our aircraft down severely here because the airport is right ahead of us. As a matter of fact, it's under us. We've missed it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we pretty much missed it. It's right there. This right
Okay.
here is where we're supposed to land. No issue. Can do this in manually, and yeah, it really is at the end of the land, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, arriving at waypoint. So let's just go back to this guy right here, direct to activate. So we're just gonna perform a little loop right there. And I'm gonna land in. Ta-da! There we go. Not too bad, right?
Yep.
Okay, slowing down. Let me just go down to pretty much idle here. Okay. All right. It's gonna give me the landing gear warning. We're not ready for landing gear just yet. Beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, let me get Sky Dolly running here, shall we?
Sure.
Just gonna get it running already.
One last interesting fact before we go in for landing.
Sure.
It doesn't have any ATC tower, just AFIS, which means the Air Flight Information Service. It's
Okay.
like flying into someone's giant backyard with radios.
Very nice. Okay, let's
Yeah.
drop our flaps here.
All right.
Drop our
Full
gear
manual
here.
approach ahead.
Pretty much. Landing gear is coming down, so we don't need to worry about that warning. There we go. Okay, so we've configured for landing a little early as we come in to make that nice little loop here. Gonna give it a bit more of power here because we're slowing down way too much for my comfort. So yeah, we're gonna perform a nice loop there. I think it's a little too soon for the landing gear. It really is. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put my landing gear back up. I'm gonna put my flaps back up, and I'm gonna let the speed climb a little bit because it's a little too soon, ladies
It's a
and gentlemen.
pretty long loop.
Yeah, it's a pretty long loop here. If we take a look at this, look at this. It's a pretty long loop. The runway is at the end of the loop, though. So yeah, I'm going to go to the PFD. Let's do that. We don't need that anymore. Just gonna use this at this point. I really enjoy this navigation system as well. Look at that. That is so cool. That is so cool, ladies and gentlemen. So cool. Anyway, we don't have anyone else on the stream today. A little bit of a shame, but just Anas, me, and you.
I guess it's been a while.
Yeah.
Probably that's why.
If Anas said hello, so yeah, that's cool. Anyway, Benny, here we go. 195, 197 knots. We're climbing in speed here. So let me just go down here. There we go. Brilliant. Can I see the runway? I don't see it, do I? We are definitely traveling a little too fast for our little turn there into the runway. So okay, speed is dropping a little bit. Come on, go down. Okay, time to drop the gear right there. Dropping gear as we make that turn into the runway, which should be about somewhere there. It's going to be an interesting landing. You ready? Yep, we're at 2,000 feet. Autopilot disconnect, please. There we go, my aircraft.
All right. Best of luck.
Thank you very much. Thank you. 50% power. Let's see if we can come into land on this one because I'm a little too high. I think I see the runway. Yep, I do. There we go. Brilliant. Seeing the runway. 112 knots. There we go. That is runway 25 ahead of us. Ladies and gentlemen, coming in for a swift little landing there.
Sink rate. Sink rate. Sink rate.
Oh, it's warning us about the sink rate.
Sink rate.
We do far worse than this, brother. We got it under control. Don't worry.
Pull up. Pull up.
Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We got it under control. All right, let's see how this landing goes, shall we?
Sure. You reminded me of my favorite song. Don't you worry.
Oh god. That is a song I absolutely do not like. 100 knots in. We got wind coming in, pretty much in this direction. I hope we do have a crosswind today, so it's going to be interesting here. 90 knots. Oh, good lord. Oh, good lord. Did you see that? I think I'm a little low on speed, huh?
Yes. Probably, but it's fine, I guess.
It's alright. Okay, if I can touch down, that is. Oh, we're floating a little bit. Okay, we're down. We're down.
We slowed down in time.
We did slow down in time, kind of. Yeah, we kind of touched down a little funny there. We really did touch down a little bit funny.
Awkward.
Yeah, bit funny touchdown. But there you go. Not too terrible. Not too terrible. Let's clean up our flaps. That wasn't the worst landing in the world, was it?
No, definitely not.
But there was a little bit of a bounce there, and we came in a little funny. What is the wind at the moment? Oh god, this aircraft keeps pulling to this way. No wonder it recommends trimming the rudder. I should have probably listened, but anyway. Let me just try and open up. Yeah, we've got 21 knot wind, but it was pretty much a headwind. Just a little bit of a crosswind, not too bad at all. So yeah, here we go. We are okay. I should have trimmed the tail here. Remind me next time to actually trim the rudder. Because the yeah, where is the rudder trim anyway? Where is it? Oh, good lord.
I have no idea.
And off I go off the runway. Let me just stop it here for a second. I want to check out where the rudder trim is. Where is the rudder trim? I'm going to stop it right here. Where is the rudder trim? There's the aileron trim. Where is the rudder trim? What? What is the elevator trim? What is this? It's a manual override for the trim? I guess so. But where on earth is the rudder trim? That's what I want to know. Where is the rudder trim? Is it up here? Oh wait.
No idea.
I don't know where the rudder trim is. Where do I trim the rudder? Huh. Interesting, I can't find the rudder trim. Whatever. Let me just release that parking brake right there. Why is it still showing reverse? Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. Calm down, mate. Calm down, please, thank you. I don't know what happened there, but it jumped real quick. We're back in the rain, too. We do have landing replay available today. I believe Skydolly has recorded what needs to be recorded. Oh, there's a grass, there's a little grass taxiway right there as well. Could probably use that, but I don't think the TBM lands on grass or in the bush. And the reason I say that is because, have you seen the main landing gear? You see how low the panels are covering the tires?
Yeah.
If this thing landed in the bush...
Probably right.
Yeah. I mean, those panels would probably get damaged.
Probably, yeah.
What do you think about the mist effect of the engine?
It's beautiful.
Beautiful. All right. We come into beautiful Land's End. Well, Land's End Airport. Land's End Airport. So there we go. Let's. It's also handcrafted. It has a lot of artifacts around it, as you can see. The runways are pretty cool. The grass is pretty cool, but Don't really see much else. Okay, we can take that taxiway in. I wonder how I'll set the rudder trim for this thing. I need to check that out somewhere. But anyway. Good flight overall, but the landing wasn't the best in the world. I'm not too worried about it though. Okay.
It's pretty decent, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. My next live stream is going to be the 777. The 777, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the next live stream, and we're going to fly it from. Why don't we take off from Cardiff?
Sure, that's a good idea.
We'll actually do that, can't we? We can take off from Cardiff and we can take it over to Cork in Ireland. So we'll take off from Cardiff and we'll take it on over to Cork, Ireland, or we can do London to Cork, whichever.
Honestly, you should also do a video with the 777 in 2024.
Yeah, certainly haven't done that, you're right. I'll do that as well. Okay, before we go any further, and with the shutdown, I almost forgot about the landing replay. So let's try and see if that works for us. Yes, it does. Brilliant. Let's go ahead and take a look at our landing replay, ladies and gentlemen. And this is going to be a long taxi. Rewinding all of us, but yeah. So yeah, a video with the 777 in 2024, yeah, most certainly. I think that's something that needs to be done. And also we need to do the live stream. Okay. So for the 777 video, I was thinking perhaps I could fly it into some extreme conditions, perhaps a hurricane. That would make for a good video.
Yeah, that would definitely.
Okay. Alright, we'll start from somewhere here. Let's play that landing. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, not the best in the world, but you know, let's see how it went. It's coming in a little too fast. Didn't have everything under control, obviously, after that go around, which was basically a circle. Oh, do you see the way how the aircraft dipped right there?
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy dip. Yeah, it's clear to see that I haven't flown this thing in a while. Nearly hit that tree. And then a little bit of a floater there and a bounce there, and we're down. Edge of the runway pretty much. So yeah. Had a little bit of difficulty holding onto the aircraft for some reason. But it stopped really, really quickly, thankfully, for us. Okay. Not too terrible, but pretty bad. Let's go inside. Take a look at a few more landing. You know what? Before we go inside, let's take a look at it. Oh, that is a beautiful view. Don't you think?
Yeah, that is. That is indeed.
Let's take a look
Especially
at that.
the delivery. I really like the delivery today, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just default.
This is just a default livery, yeah.
It still looks amazing.
It is. It's those contour lines that you find on the map. There's that sudden dip. I think it was because of my airspeed. I believe we nearly stalled there. Okay. And into runway 25, which looks absolutely gorgeous. Very nice textures on the runway. A little bit of a bounce there, I believe. Yeah, it's a tiny bounce. And edge of the runway landing. Not at all center line, but here we go. Not too terrible. Beautiful. What a gorgeous place to land into.
Yep, definitely.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Beautiful. Let's pause that. Let us now go ahead and see if there's any other views we would like to see here. Well, not really. Let's jump on into the cabin. See how terrified the passenger must have been on this landing. Okay, there we go. Let us play that. Oh, there's a dip. Well, we nearly stalled, but the passenger doesn't need to know that. He doesn't need to know that. There we go. And there we go. Passed by that tree. And in we go. All right. You can take a look at the landing from the other side of the cabin. Let's do that. Yeah, I need to really work on my stream settings there because I can see that it's not exactly a smooth viewing experience. So I need to work on that a little bit. Okay, there we go. Very well, very well. Okay, let's now head on over to our parking, a little zoomy there. There we go, heading back into our parking spot. There we go, just a quick zoom through our taxi and into our parking. Ta-da, there we go, brilliant. Brilliant. Let's now go ahead and shut down this aircraft, shall we? Oh, the systems have already...
Shut down for this, right?
Sorry?
It's a quick shutdown for this aircraft.
It's a very quick shutdown for this. It's a very, very quick shutdown for this, if I'm being honest. So we can do that. Low right there. We can pulse lights, strobe lights off. Strobe lights off, pulse lights off. This thing down to off. Panel lights can come off. Okay, you know what? Wait for the panel lights a little bit. Dimmer off, cabin lights off, access lights off. Trim and stuff off there. Booster pump off, ignition to off. And then we can shut down our engine. There we go, fully feathered propeller. We can select our fuel selector to completely off there. Perfect. Look at that. Are our flaps up? Flaps are up. Brilliant. Just press enter here for no reason. Generator off, please. Our generator is off now. What else do we have here? What else do we have here? That is off, that is off, that is off. That's all off, 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 off. Okay, that's still on. We can turn that off for the time being. We can turn that off as well. Boom. Everything is off now. There we go. Cold and dark. Just like that. And before we go outside, we got to open up our doors, don't we? Unlock that. Open up the door. There we go. Brilliant. We come outside here. We can actually go to walk around mode. There we go. How does that look?
That's perfect.
Let's open up our little door here for our passengers to step down. There we go. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome to Land's End, ladies and gentlemen. Open up the engine bay there for you guys to see there. This is the cargo bay.
GSX doesn't really work properly on smaller aircrafts, right?
No, it doesn't. It does not work very well or very nicely with smaller aircraft, I'm afraid. So we have got the engine bay here. You see how it is? Modeled really nicely there.
Yeah.
I believe this is not done in 2020. We have to go check out and compare 2020 versus 2024, but look at that. We've got our carriage here. I believe this is where you stow away Some baggage. I don't know why it has those weird step-like structures on the inside. I don't know why. But that, I believe, is where your primary luggage and cargo. Not very large in terms of... We don't have a lot of room for luggage there, though.
Yeah, probably not.
We don't have a lot of room for luggage. I don't know if there's any other space to store some luggage. And I'm pretty sure there's some other spaces, right? ELT located here. Okay, I don't know what that is. But I'm pretty sure
There should be.
There should be, yeah.
Yeah.
So there might be something around. I mean, guess, yeah. There might be something behind here, right? There has to be. There has to be. Yeah, let me have a look at it. Let's have a look at it from the drone camera here. Yeah, there we go. There's something right there behind. Do you see that? The netting? That's a cargo area. So I have no idea how to access it. I guess you fold the seats forward, like in a car, to access...
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you'll have to fold it up. Look, it even has an inscription. Cargo net, yep. There we go. Loading instructions, there you go. See? You got your cargo net here, so there's plenty of room for luggage. That is enough room for luggage for this many people, for sure, so... Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, pretty cool. Anyway, there you go. Beautiful aircraft all opened up and stuff there. And yeah, let's take a quick look at the beautiful airport here. Plenty of artifacts all around it, which is nice. Oh, look. Interior is pretty good. Interior is pretty good. We got pictures of somebody kissing over there and random pictures of people over there. Interesting. Okay. Alright, I guess that's some good level of detail though. It seems like a cafeteria of some sort, eh? Oh, we even have the menu.
Oh, that's really cool.
That is really cool. Got pictures of people. Again, further pictures of people at Land's End, I suppose. Yeah, it's a pretty cool airport. And then onto the road you go. Okay. Very, very nice. Not too terrible at all. Land's End, you say? ATC Tower, not too terrible. Is there any place where it has a giant sign saying this is Land's End or something like that? No, it doesn't. But anyway, that was an interesting flight. Not too bad, not too terrible. Nice little live stream. I enjoyed myself. I really like this aircraft. Although we could have performed a better landing there. No issues. We'll fix that in the coming live streams. As always, I always redeem myself in my landing. So, pretty fun there. Hope you guys enjoyed today's live stream. And
I definitely did.
Oh, thank you very much, Benny. And once again, thank you for being on the live stream and keeping me company here. So, yeah, we're definitely going to be... Sorry?
Thank you for having me.
Sure. We're definitely going to be revisiting some of these places that we came into. And, yeah, we're going to have lots and lots of fun on this in the coming few days. I haven't been very active in the past few days, but I'm hoping to fix that in the coming few days here. So, yeah, I'll definitely be live tomorrow. Probably shoot a video and release it as well. So yeah, thank you very much, everybody, and I shall catch you in the next one. Bye bye, Benny. See you.
Perfect. See you.